Hi friends, Benita from Knitting in the Mitten. Got my face mask in case I encounter anyone. But we are picking raspberries today at Riverbed Farms. So in South Haven, and it's pretty good picking. Not as good as last year. There's a lot that aren't ripe yet. So if you come in a week, I bet you will have super easy picking. I picked 8 quarts in about 40 minutes, so not too bad. They're $5 a quart if you pick them, or sorry, a pint. I picked 8 pints. When you buy them in the store, they're half pints. So think about what you pay at the store for a half pint of raspberries. I don't usually buy them at the store, so this is $5 a pint, and I tried to put as many berries in those pints as I could, so very happy. I am freezing my raspberries. Last year they kind of got all crumbled up when I froze them, so this year I'm going to freeze them on a tray, which I know is what you're supposed to do, but I don't really have lots of room in my freezer, so I'm doing each pint separately. They said that the berries will keep for about 2 weeks in the fridge, so I'm keeping 4 pints in the fridge and I'm freezing 4 pints. So hopefully that goes better this year. Now it is time for me to start this book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. So I bought this book last month. I haven't started it yet. I've been reading other books, but I am interested in finding out what's in here. I heard him on NPR one time and I was confused about his premise, so I'm curious about the book, and I will let you know if I find something in there I want to talk to you about. But what's motivating me now to read the book this week is that he is doing an online presentation or discussion or something a week from this coming Monday. Oh, on July 20th. And it's through Eventbrite. So I will link to it. 7 p.m. on the 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern on the 20th. So you can Google it, but I will try to link to it in the description of this video. But also a group that I have was invited to join on Facebook, where the goal is to talk and learn and discuss things going on in the community, the state, the country, the world. So that group is also reading this book. So now I have super extra motivation to read it. So I'm going to start today. I've got my sticky notes to flag anything that seems interesting or that I want to talk about or have questions about. But we all have work to do these days, people. So learn and grow and find people you can discuss these things with. So here we go. Well, it didn't take me long starting this book to realize that I needed a highlighter and a writing utensil because there's a lot in here to think about. And I remember now what I had such a hard time with when I heard the author on the radio. So his premise, well, one of the things he wants to talk about is the idea that the word racist is a descriptive word, not a pejorative word. And by that he means pejorative would mean like a derogatory word. And his argument is that it's not a derogatory word, it's a descriptive word. So I'm still trying to get my mind around that because to me, being a racist is not a good thing. So that concept I'm having to figure out. I do understand the idea that the opposite of racist is not racist. So people like to say if somebody, accuses them of being racist, they tend to say they are not racist, which he would argue really is just it's a middle of the road thing. So the opposite of racist would be anti-racist. So that makes sense to me. And I kind of was thinking about it in terms of, I always tell parents, tell your kids what you want them to do, not what you don't want them to do. So instead of saying what you are not, say what you are. So that makes sense to me. The other thing I highlighted that I thought is important, and it's not new to me, but I do think it's important, is, he's talking about his parents and how they raised him. And he said, I loved and hated my father for living on his own terms in a world that usually denies black people their own terms. So his dad didn't need to, or his dad never put on a happy face, faked a calmer voice, hid his opinion, avoided making a scene. He just was who he was and didn't try to soften it for white people. So anyway, I highlighted that sentence because I think it's a very important one. So I have only made it to page 19. I decided I need to read about 30 pages a day to be done by the time he does his online presentation discussion thing. So that gives me about 8 days to finish it. So I have more I need to read today. One problem is that I tend to fall asleep while I'm reading. So because I like to get really comfortable on my couch in my sunroom. But I'm going to keep going, and it's a lot to take in and digest. So reading a bit at a time is helpful. So anyway, I've gotten all that already from the first 18 pages. So here we go.